It's 8:30. Good morning, I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. Patterson MP Bob Baldwin is being sued over a decision to knock back an aged care facility on Sydney's North Shore. The Sydney Morning Herald reports high-profile Sydney radio host Alan Jones launched a fierce campaign against the proposed 89-bed facility at Middlehead in February, siding with Mossman residents on the issue, which it's claimed influenced the government's decision to reverse its original approval. The company behind the development is suing Bob Baldwin in his capacity as Parliamentary Secretary to Federal Environment Minister Greg Hunt after he tore up approval for the controversial care home last month. A man who allegedly took motorbikes on test rides in Newcastle and Lake Macquarie and never returned them has been charged. It's claimed the 23-year-old took 5 bikes, which were for sale during April and May, after first contacting the owners through Gumtree. Joanne Elliott from Police Headquarters says he's due to front court today.
The bikes were stolen from addresses at Warners Bay, Charlestown, Bonnells Bay and New Lambton. That man's been charged with steal, a motor vehicle and drive while disqualified. He'll be appearing in Newcastle local court later today.
A man is due to face Toronto local court today after Lake Macquarie police allegedly found a significant quantity of drugs in his car. Officers responded to a concern for welfare call at Spears Point Park at about 10:30 last night, finding the man slumped over the steering wheel of his car. However, it's claimed they also found MDMA tablets and a trafficable quantity of the drug ice. The 39-year-old man has been charged with drug supply and possession offences. Speeding and fatigue are two dangers Hunter police are warning against in the lead-up to the Queen's birthday long weekend. Motorists caught in the wrong will face double demerits, but officers say they should be more concerned about potential loss of life when making long weekend plans. Inspector Gerard Lawson says it's not always smart to get up early to drive long distances.
It's often a good practice to actually share the driving wherever they can. One thing I would caution people about is don't be fooled by the notion of getting up early and leaving early to avoid traffic, because your body works in a certain way and that means that you'll still be tired and perhaps not driving to the best of your ability. So, drive when you would normally be awake and don't drive for periods of time that you would not normally be awake.
As part of the United Nations World Environment Day today, Hunter residents are being encouraged to reconsider how their current consumption and production patterns is affecting the environment. The United Nations reports by 2050 we will need 3 planets to sustain our way of living and consumption if we don't change our habits to help sustain the environment. Maitland City Council Group Manager Bernie Mortimer says we can all make simple steps to reduce the amount of waste we create and damage we cause to the environment.
From our point of view, the 3 things that we're focusing on are water usage, and Hunter Water is involved with that process as well. Food usage, and the other one is energy use, where you're talking about power in particular, but not only power, gas and that as well.
And the Newcastle Knights are heading to Dungog next week to lift the spirits of the flood-ravaged town. The squad will visit on Tuesday afternoon to hold a barbecue and free clinic at Bennett Park for the local junior football team. 3 people died in Dungog during the April superstorm. 68 homes flooded while 4 were washed away.
Sport for our sponsor, newcastlecheapestcars.com.au.
Chairman of Dundee United Stephen Thompson has once again expressed his interest in owning the Newcastle Jets. Thompson is in Newcastle this week to potentially coordinate a consortium of investors with parties interested in owning the club. He reportedly believes a 9-person board similar to the one at Dundee United would benefit the Jets. It seems Newcastle Knights enforcer Jeremy Smith could be set to see out his career with the Red and Blue. The 35-year-old knocked back the Knights' initial bid, but with Joey Leilua's departure freeing space under their salary cap, the club has upped their offer. They're hoping to re-sign Scott on a 1-year contract extension. And in local rugby league, clubs will be able to have their say on this season's grand final venue at the upcoming information session this Wednesday night. That's Sport, I'm Georgia Moylan.
2 NURFM News Time, 26 to 9.